Hey everybody! So with the results of the draft lottery, and that leaves Montreal Canadiens in a position to possibly get the number one pick, and of course that means Alexis Lafreniere. I thought I'd take a look and see what could the Habs lineup look like over the next 3-4 years with Lafreniere in the lineup. Kind of unexpectedly that we get him. So I thought I'd take a look at that. We also are definitely getting Alexander Romanov coming over next season. He's not going to be able to play in the qualifying round or any playoffs this season, but he will be here next season. So the defense is going to look different. So we're going to take a look at the defense. And then we have Primo as a goalie coming in. Who knows when? We're going to take a look at that as well. We also have the Seattle expansion draft happening, so we don't know who we're going to lose from that, if we're going to lose anybody at all, if they make any kind of deal, or we will lose somebody. So that's all, it's all coming up in the next couple of seasons. So we're going to take a look at the lineup. First up is going to be the forwards. We're going to take a look and see what this lineup might look like if we're adding Alexis Lafreniere. That's it. So we're going to start off, obviously, with next season. So that's 2020, 2021. So now we got Lafreniere. Lafreniere is the left winger. Obviously, he's going to be on your first line. So we're going to put him right there. So Lafreniere. It's going to put Laf because it's a lot shorter to write. So Lafreniere, for me, I don't really want to be breaking up Tatar, Danault, Gallagher. They work so much better together than if they're apart. So I want to keep that line. It's going to have to move down. So I'm going to put Lafreniere with Suzuki as the center. So now who goes over to the right wing? I think if you're getting Lafreniere next season, your right side is really the weak side now. So you have your choices are Drouin, Gallagher, Armia, and Wheel pretty much on the right side. You can have Byron over on the right side as well, but on your top line, you're not going to have Byron. You're not going to have Wheel. You're not going to have Armia, so it's between Gallagher and Drouin. As I just said, I'm not breaking up, excuse me, Tatar, Danault, Gallagher. So I'm going to put Drouin here. Even though Drouin is normally a left winger, I think he's capable to play on the right side, and I think it's going to be necessary here, unless there's going to have to be another trade and someone's going to get moved out and somebody brought in. Because I really don't think you break up to Tardino Gallagher. I really don't think so, because that line is amazing, and then when you take one of the pieces away, it's not the same. So now I just said what we're going to have for a second line. So that's Tatar, Danault, and Galley. So that's your line number 2. I think that makes sense to everybody. I think they're gonna, they've been playing they've been the number 1 line. Get that out. And it's not the ideal line for them to be number 1, but here we're able to drop them down, and I think you got a legitimate number 1 line there. Suzuki's gonna have to show that he's a number 1 center. Maybe it's a little bit early. You might say that he's still a little young, but I think he's going to be capable. I think having Lafreniere on his left wing is going to be amazing and help him out a lot right there. So, yeah, we're going to number 3 lines. We're going to start with the center. Okay, here's the controversy. KK, is he back next year? Is he not? I personally think KK is going to need another sometime, I don't know how long, but at least sometime next season in the AHL. That's my personal belief, so I'm not going to count on him being here to start the season, so we're going to go with KK is still in the AHL for next season. So that means Domi stays as your center. So who do we put around Domi? I think we put, if it was KK, we'd probably reunite the finish line. I think we're going to do that here, except for everybody but KK. So we'll have Lecky, and we'll have Armia with him. So you got Lecky, Domi, and Armia as your line 3. Line 4, I think at this point right now we're lacking centers. You got KK in the AHL, Paling in the AHL. I think we're going to keep Jake Evans as the 4th line center. That's how he finished whatever part of the regular season. We didn't finish the regular season last season, but he was the 4th line center when everything stopped. I think you definitely need to keep Byron on this team. Byron's going to stay on the right. Now, Byron has an interesting stat I saw I don't know if it's an advanced stat, but Byron defensively, Byron is one of the top bottom 6 players in the league, I believe, and you want him there, especially you got Evans, who's a young guy at center. You want Byron to help with the defense, I think. And over here, because he's still signed, and I think he'll still be here, and we do know that Claude Julien likes him a lot, is Jordan Weal. And I think Weal did his job last season. Got a lot of flack for being put in the positions he was put in, but that's not his fault. That's on Julien if you want to. But I think he did pretty well for the positions he was put in. Now, as far as extras, I think you're going to have Dauphin. I think that's where they got him. He's capable to be backing up guys. And I'm wondering if maybe a guy like, I know he still has to be signed to a contract, but maybe a Yanni Alonen, something like that, come in. I'm not sure who would be the extras. That's a little harder to say. Let's move off to the next season after that, because now it's another season down the road. What happens with certain lines? Certain guys have to be re-signed. Where do they go from here? So we'll go up here for the 2021-22 season. I think the number 1 line stays the same. So you got Lafreniere, Suzuki, and Drouin. Unless somebody else is brought in to play on the right side, I think that's you're going to end up with that. And I don't know what kind of trades they're going to be. I don't know. So I'm not going to try to speculate on that. We're going to go with who's here. And, yeah, that's what we're going to do. Second line. Does Tatar come back next season? Is the end of it's his last season's contract, right? I don't know if I'm still on camera. So, does Tatar get re-signed and come back? You know what? I think when you have Lafreniere coming in, I think that might make Tatar expendable. He's probably going to bring you in a good return, and I have a feeling that this is the last season for Tatar. So over here, with Tatar gone, I think you shift Domi over to the left, and you're still going to have Phil Deneau, because even if KK is here, which I expect him to be, I don't know if he's going to take number 2 center right away, his first year back, his first full season back, whatever. I think Deneau stays there. Now, you could say if you're getting rid of Tatar, you screw up that Tatar Deneau galley, but at some point you're going to have to make a decision on who stays and who goes, and the young guys that come in, and somebody's going to have to move. And I think it's going to be Tatar, because he's probably going to bring you back a good return. So now we're looking at the right side here, and I still think it's Galley. So you got Domi, Deneau, Galley. The only thing I don't like about it is you got 2 small guys on the wing. But they're effective offensively, and I think it could make a good line combo. So next up, I think with KK coming back, you've got KK back in his 3rd line center. Now, here's an interesting, because now it's not next season. We know Cole Caulfield won't be here next season. He's committed to college. But the season after, I do think he's going to make the jump to the professional ranks. Does he make the team? Does he play in the AHL? I actually think he's going to end up playing 1 season in the AHL. That's my actual honest opinion. And I don't think he's going to be here to fill this spot. And do you really want him here to fill the right wing spot on the 3rd line? Or would you rather him be able to come in and be a top 6 forward right away? And I think that's what you'd rather. So I think we're going to have the finish line reunite here. And there you go. Now, I know this is the Seattle expansion draft. I don't think they're going to lose a forward to that. I don't. I think it's going to be a defenseman. We'll talk about it after. So we got Lecky, KK, Armia. We're going to probably still have Evans, unless there's a move made that I don't know that could come up. We're going to have Evans. We're probably still going to have Byron, because I like Byron a lot. Byron it's a good spot for Byron. You can move him around if need be for injuries and stuff like that. And he really does protect Evans here, and he's really good on defense in the bottom 6, in a bottom 6 role. This is where it gets a little harder. Who plays on, oh, wait a second. I think I made the mistake. I jumped ahead of myself. We're taking Evans away. So we're going to start with Byron. It's the same reason that KK is back. I have a feeling we're going to get a return of Ryan Poehling. And to me, I see Ryan Poehling playing here. Starting him out at fourth line center. Nick Suzuki started out on the fourth line, worked his way up. If Poehling's going to work his way up, that's fine. But he's got to start somewhere. That's the spot for him here, I think, right now. And on the other side, I don't know, but I know that Ilonen plays the right side. He'll be ready to come up by then. And maybe you start him off on the left. Now, there could be trades. There could be something else to happen. I don't think Dale Weiss will still be here. He won't be here next season. His contract's up after this season. I don't think they re-sign Weiss. So Weiss isn't going to be up there. So I'm looking at Ilonen there. And I have a feeling for our spare players, they might re-sign a guy like Wheel to keep him around. And you might see a guy like Joel Teasdale start to make his debut here. He's coming back from injury. I don't expect to see him here. He's going to need a season in the AHL. And I think after that, he's got a lot of talent. I could see him bring him in to play either fourth line or be a spare guy on the team, filling in here and there. So there you go. That's my lineup for 21-22. 22-23, he's under here. And now, we're 2 years into having Lafreniere. Tatar's gone now a season. What do we do with, we're probably going to have Cole Caulfield come in and play somewhere in that lineup. There's going to be guys that are going to need to be moved around. So I still see Lafreniere and Suzuki together. And I probably would say Drouin, if all's been going well, Drouin is still going to be signed. I would say Drouin is probably still going to be there. Unless there's a trade, there's somebody to fit in there, and you can shift Drouin over to the left side. So barring that happening, you're going to have Domi again here on the left. Deneau and Galley again. And there's soon going to be a decision here with Deneau and Gallagher. There's soon going to be a decision what to do with them. Do you trade them? Do you keep them? There's soon going to be a decision here. Third line, again, I think we're going to probably, barring any trades, it's going to look the same. KK. Now, here's what, now I know I just said up here, you don't want Caulfield as your third line right wing, but you may want to break him in there a little bit. So you may have part of the season, you may be splitting a little bit with Armia and Caulfield here to see how Caulfield handles it. And if he does well, he could be moved up. But then again, like I said, there's decisions, because if you're bringing in Caulfield, I mean, where is he going to play? So there's decisions coming up for the Montreal Canadiens in 2022-23, guaranteed on the forward lines. For this line here, I think by now Teasdale is probably going to be ready to make it. I like the kid. I think he's got NHL talent. You've probably still got Poehling here. Main reason Poehling is still your fourth line center is because you still have Deneau. You're not having Deneau as a fourth line center. And you might see Ilonen still here. For your spare guys, I have a feeling this guy I've been talking about a lot that I think is going to make it, who's a long shot, Harvey Pinard. I think Harvey Pinard makes his NHL debut just as an extra, just playing a few games, whatever he plays. I think Harvey Pinard's going to be one of the extra guys. You could have a Jani Ikonen or a Cam Hillis. These are guys that could be ready to be playing some amount of time up with the big club. Now, if you put Caulfield in, Armia is starting to be like, one of these guys has to move. You can't have all three guys have Caulfield. He's not playing your fourth line. So there's going to be some movement here. I don't really know what it's going to be, honestly. I honestly don't. When it happens, I can do an update on this, but it's hard to decide or to figure out, you know, if they trade Galley, where they're going to trade him to. If it's Drew, and like it's hard to decide that in advance. So for the purposes of this video, I'm not doing that. Now we're at 23-24, and we're going to still keep Lafreniere and Suzuki together. And this is where, for me, it gets interesting, because I think at this point, if you've had Caulfield playing, and I think by 22-23, your Caulfield's on the team, he's playing somewhere, he's either ready or he's not to take this spot right here. I think he's going to be ready. I can't wait to see this combination of Lafreniere, Suzuki, Caulfield. If it works out, that's amazing. Your second line, I think KK makes the jump. So now you've got KK here. Now, Deneau's going to be an interesting thing. You got Domi on his wing. And Drouin drops down. So now there's two questions here for me. Where's Galley? And who are we missing here? Where's Deneau? And I think this is the year where you've made that choice. It's a possibility Galley's getting a little older. His body takes a beating. Maybe it's time that this could be a time. I'm not saying they're going to do it. I love Gallagher. I see Gallagher as the future captain. I don't know. For the purposes of this video, Gallagher could get moved. And so could Deneau. Because I don't know where else you're going to, you know. So I think you might have, at this point, Paling be ready. And I like either Lehkonen here or Teasdale at this point. Now we're looking at the right side. So now if they haven't traded Gallagher, you know, that might be a time where Galley falls down the third line. Again, I don't find a spot for Armia. If Gallagher's been traded, you might have Armia still here. I think your fourth line center may be a guy like Hillis. I think he's got a lot of talent. And I think by then, a year, I think maybe he'll, like Evans. Evans came in, played a little bit, and then by the end of the season was getting the fourth line center. I think you might see that same thing with Hillis. Come in, play a little bit, and by the next season, taking on fourth line center. Guy's a talented kid, and I think he could do that. And I think there you go. There's my lineups. I listen, it's a lot of speculation. Oh, yeah, I think you're going to have Harvey Bernard still here. It's a lot of speculation. We don't know what kind of trades. We don't know who's going to get lost in the expansion draft. You don't know about injuries. There's a lot of things. There's some aging players. There's some guys with contracts that need to be moved or need to be re-signed and all that. So it's a lot of stuff that could happen, and it's impossible to figure that out here. But considering who's here, who's in the pipeline, that's what I think the lineup could start to look like. That's if we get Lafreniere, first overall pick, and Lafreniere. So. It's already a long video. The defense and the goalie is going to be for the next video. So if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And let me know in the comment section if you think I'm a nutcase, if you think these lines are okay, who you would have in the lineup, who you would take out, who you think might be taken in the expansion draft. Do that in the comment section. Really appreciate that. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, subscribe, ring that notifications bell, and that'll get you your daily fix of Blue, Blanc, Rouge. Right here at Talking Habs. So, yeah, that's it. Thanks, everybody. I'm doing a live stream tonight at 8:05. Hopefully, you can be there. If you're not watching this on Saturday and it's after that, well, never mind. It'll be already done. Okay, so that's it. Yeah, I'm battling at this point. So, thanks for watching. Please stay safe out there by wearing a mask when you're around a bunch of people. And so you can get back here to watch more videos. And that's it. Have a great day, everybody. Peace out. I don't know. I'm running out of things to say. Peace out, and I'll see you next video and see you at the live stream.